Now on Denver 7 News at 4. After months of talks, Denver teachers have a new deal.
Tired, relieved, and content with our agreement.
The changes teachers can expect to see as the district moves forward.
New government action is expected to bring down the costs of some prescription drugs, why the work is far from over and why there are still gaps. And almost half of Americans are breathing polluted air. We'll take a look at the new tracking that could help protect us in the future.
But first, change at the top of the Denver Police Department.
I intend to build and establish trust across the city.
The challenge is ahead for Denver's next top cop.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Micah Smith. Denver Police will soon have a new chief leading the department. Chief Paul Pazin announced his retirement yesterday, and Mayor Michael Hancock nominated Division Chief Ron Thomas to run the department. Hancock and Thomas held a press conference this afternoon announcing the changes. Thomas says he plans to focus on reducing crime and aggressively recruiting new officers. His nomination comes after an officer-involved shooting in Lodo back in July that injured 6 bystanders. That has led to a lot of scrutiny. Thomas says rebuilding community trust is just one of many challenges the department faces.
Response times are up. I understand that call hold times are up. At the same time, I understand that our staffing is down. I understand that community trust is also at a low point, and I'm committed to fixing those things. We need to fix those things, and those things are going to be addressed. I can promise you that.
City Council still has to approve Thomas as the next chief, but he's stepping in as acting chief next week. Denver 7 investigative reporter Jennifer Kovaleski was at today's briefing, and we will have more on that transition coming up tonight on Denver 7 News at 5. A bizarre story out of Weld County today. A construction worker barricaded themselves inside a truck near the town of Nunn. A truck they took from their employer and crashed twice before stopping, including sideswiping a train. Eventually, officers deployed tear gas, then approached the vehicle and took the person into custody. A Brighton child care facility is out about $10,000, and state taxpayers are out an additional $42,000, all because of unpermitted work done by an unlicensed contractor. Isabella Maria Carl Price was trying to expand her at-home child care facility by finishing her basement. She applied for and received a state grant for the expansion. But as this letter from the city of Brighton details, much of the work was not up to code, and the contractor, Nine Line Construction, never pulled permits for the project. As a result, much of the completed work now has to be demolished and redone.
Now I know better to really ask for proof of license, not just a business license, a contractor's license. And when they're doing work, ask for a permit.
Carl Price has now hired a new contractor. Coming up on Denver 7 News at 6, Russell Haythorne asked the state why it paid an unlicensed contractor $42,000. And after months of negotiations, Denver Public Schools and its teachers union have come to a new contract agreement. The deal provides returning teachers with an average annual salary increase of 8.7%. There will be a starting salary for DPS teachers of $50,000 and an additional district investment of $2.5 million toward employee benefits. Plus, teachers will get paid for participating in various leadership committees. Denver teachers will also get a 45-minute duty-free lunch every day and at least 300 minutes of self-directed planning time each week. More for secondary teachers.
Tired, relieved, and content with our agreement. I think that first year teacher starting at $50,000 is a very competitive rate in the Denver metro area.
Our teachers, if they don't feel safe, secure, supported, and valued, they will not be able to execute in terms of what they do well. And we proved that we mean what we say. Our actions are behind our articles and our proposals and the tentative agreement.
DPS is also creating a committee to oversee improvements in the district and keep an eye on class sizes to make sure they don't get out of hand. The district is also creating platforms for recruiting more educators of color.
It is, of course, going to be a busy weekend to travel, and traveling has not been easy recently, but The U.S. Department of Transportation is trying to help with this. Its new customer service dashboard, they just released it today. It lets you know all of your rights for all the major domestic airlines. If they cancel on you or delay your flight, you can see airline guarantees, refunds, and compensation policies. Now, this is meant to help when you are booking as well. Now, it can be hard with so many stories about the economy to really know what's going on and how it's going to impact you. But NerdWallet found that 70% of people believe that we're in a recession right now. But the job market is outweighing the shrinking economy, and it's keeping that from happening. About 60% think that the Federal Reserve raises interest rates, and it also raises the price of products and services, but that is not the case.
Typically, when inflation is higher, that's when you'll find them raising interest rates, sort of slow down spending and borrowing and cool things down. But then the opposite is also true when prices are going down, when inflation is going way down, you might see them lower interest rates too. So it's in response to what's happening with inflation. It's not causing inflation.
Take high gas prices, for example. Nearly half of people surveyed by NerdWallet for this say that they have been driving less because of those high gas prices. And although there are some other factors to prices coming down, demand dropping has played a role in this. When it comes to groceries, 40% of people say that they have started buying store brand food over name brands.
What consumers are buying could definitely influence what stores choose to stock and how they price items. But it might take some time for that to play out.
NerdWallet found that higher prices have many Americans feeling less confident about their money. What can you do about it? Well, experts say, of course, do your homework before you run errands, know where those good prices are, and also you can find a buddy to do errands with to keep you on track, but also carpooling can save you some gas. Well, getting pre-approved can be helpful when you are trying to get a loan, but the FTC says if Credit Karma said you were pre-approved, that may not have been true. Credit Karma will have to pay $3 million to reimburse people who responded to its allegedly deceptive offers. The FTC says the company sent those credit offers from at least February 2018 through April of last year. Nearly a third of the people who applied were rejected based on factors like bankruptcies. The reviews also showed up as hard pulls on credit scores. Of course, that can lower your credit score. All right, we do have an important Ford recall to tell you about that starts the news feed. It is for 200,000 large SUVs because the heating and cooling fan motors can catch on fire. This is for Expeditions and Navigators from 2015 to 2017. Well, it's been a long time coming, but Twitter saying today officially it is now testing an edit button. Yeah, the ability to edit tweets that you already send. They say it's been the most requested feature over the past couple of years. It is unclear, though, when that button could become official. Well, you can get some great savings at Sam's Club, but now it's going to cost you a little bit more to go. The store is raising its membership by $5. In October, it will now be $50. It's the first price increase for the company in 9 years. Well, some teachers are rethinking homework. The new findings on whether it actually has a positive impact on how students learn.
Also ahead on Denver 7 News at 4, DoorDash is lending a hand to some of Colorado's restaurant owners.
There's a lot of resources out there, but people don't really know about them.
The program that will help Hispanic business owners and others build their businesses.